everybody, and welcome to the Garbagemice podcast, the only podcast that encourages the use of methamphetamines. And today, I am very sorry to tell you all that Artillery is dead. He's been killed in an airstrike, and in his place, we have the one, the only, the news reporter, the respected media source, Tim Pool. Now, of course, I am the Tim Pool here. I'm going to speak about Ukraine and Russia and Joe Biden for the next 1 hour uninterrupted, and nobody's going to say a word. Okay, you guys ready for this?
No!
And also, Lil Pizza Box could not show up.
Yeah.
So we have someone else to take his place. Want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Nazniak, and I don't know, I guess I drew a piece of art that never got put on.
Let's go.
Yeah, Nazniak, let's get this done.
Yeah, okay.
So, how's it going? I got some more stories to share. I got the best ones today. I heard you have some stories to tell us as well, so let's hear it, man.
Yeah. So
Wait, just on the spot?
Yeah.
I'm just checking out with some stories. Come on, let's get some, I don't know, like some back and forth going. Come on, where's the synergy, man?
There's no synergy on this.
I was gonna talk about something that happened to me. So my next door neighbor earlier this week, he had his car parked out on the street, and
Yeah.
I was up at like midnight or like 1 a.m. just hanging out, and I hear this like really loud crash coming from outside.
Oh.
And I look out my window and I don't really see anything, so I just ignore it. Next morning, my dad is like, "Yo, you gotta see this." And I go outside, and my neighbor's car next door is just destroyed. Like someone hit it, someone crashed into it. And the way that my neighbor found him was by following a trail of broken metal and glass through the neighborhood until he found another car that was also destroyed.
You know what this reminds me of? Oh man, yesterday I was on my bicycle heading to work, and I stopped by this shop, this Persian shop, where it's just a grocery store, and I see these two tall Persian dudes like looking at me the wrong way. I'm like, they're not gonna fight me. I got a helmet on. Like, nobody's gonna fight a guy with a helmet on. You're already at a disadvantage, even though they're like 6'2", 6'3". It's not a wise idea. So I just calmly park my bicycle as they go into the shop. And as I walk into the shop, the fucking Persian dudes, one of them is standing over the shopkeeper, talking to him in Persian, like, habakada, halakada, habakada, hakada, habakada. And I'm just like, did I walk onto something? And the other guy's protecting the door, but he's so fucking stupid that he didn't stop me from going in. And I got these two Persian dudes that are like holding up the shopkeeper as I'm trying to buy a fucking protein bar. Like, the shopkeeper's trying to push against them, like to escape, to, you know, go around him, but the guy's just so big he can't do it. And he's talking to him intimidatingly in Persian. He's like, "Hagadaba, tagada," and then they both see me, and then they realize I'm here to buy a fucking protein bar, and I just pick one up. I'm like, "How much is this?" He's like, $4, and I put it back down. And I pick up a Cliff Bar. I'm like, "How much is this?" He's like, $3. I'm like, "I'll buy this." First of all, so they don't think I have much money. Second of all, because I actually don't have that much money. And I just take the protein bar and I cash out with my debit card as the guy behind the counter next to the shopkeepers looking at me like he's about to kill me. And the guy right next to me, who's supposed to be watching the door, also is looking at me like he wants to fucking kill me. I think I just walked into like a mafia thing to buy a fucking protein bar, unbeknownst to me.
Yeah.
Dude, that's goddamn hilarious. Oh my god.
And I just walk out.
Yeah.
Might have been ISIS or something. Who knows?
Bro, I think it was genuinely like fucking what do they call it? I think it was like the Iranian government. Like, I was so fucking petrified. And I'm Syrian, but I don't speak Persian, so I have no idea what the fuck they were saying. But it couldn't have been any good. It was so weird. Yeah. Nazniak.
Yeah.
Now, you say your shit. We don't have synergy on this podcast. We just have 3 Spurgs talking, so.
You know, I don't know. I'm not going to start with a story, but you know something that's been on my mind, like, a lot. So, you know how they're doing the whole Tim Pool for 50 thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why has it not crossed any of their fucking minds yet to like just okay? So there's like a million things of Tim Pool on the internet, like tons of things where he's just speaking.
Yeah.
Why have they not just clipped him multiple times, makes him like awesome MLG like Tim Pool soundboard, and just like have that ready to go, and then they just record a podcast?
Yeah, they should go ahead and do that.
No, and it's like I don't know if they're recording right now or if they already did episode 50, but literally steal this idea. Rusty, if you're listening to this, I know you're probably gonna be. You do not want to associate with anyone on the Garbagemice podcast, but I mean this. I will clip Tim Pool for you if you want, and I will get a soundboard ready.
Bro, unironically, Rusty listens to the show religiously, and he leaves a mean comment on every episode. Every episode, he's like, "You guys suck. You're pieces of shit. I don't like you guys." On every episode now. Man, Rusty, we fucking love you.
I think he's our biggest fan.
Indeed, we pray to you every day, Rusty. Please come on the Garbagemice. Yeah, that's actually an awesome idea. I've actually been harassing them, the trash rats, to get on the show. As you can see, I'm Tim Pool in this photo, and I'm Tim Pool. And I've been harassing them for about a week now, telling them to bring me on episode 50 because, I'm the greatest Tim Pool out there. So
I don't know. Can you really?
Out of all the Tim
I'm gonna be real.
Pools.
I don't watch Tim Pool. I watched reactors videos. I don't know shit about Tim Pool.
Tim Pool is like
Call me uncultured.
Tim Pool is like Reactor on Trash Rats, but a lot more mild. So Reactor is like the extremist version. So Tim Pool is Al Qaeda and Reactor is ISIS. That's how I describe it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't. People make Tim Pool out to be this horrible person. So yeah, I don't even know.
He's pretty mild.
He's pretty mediocre when it comes to his takes on a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah. He just seems like a normal, relatively normal guy.
Like, yeah, he's just like the voice of the normal people. He's not completely autistic yet, but he's not completely like, oh, we need to protect the minorities because they're all oppressed. He's kind of like that, not really. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, I don't know. People just kind of lump him with Joe Rogan. So yeah.
What the fuck's Joe Rogan is not even like anything.
Really?
Joe Rogan is literally just a UFC commentator who...
Oh, yeah, I know that. And then he got a podcast, and then he kept having a ton of random people on who were, I believe, like, people affiliated with the alt-right. So essentially, I guess, they just kind of labeled him as that. If I'm correct.
So what?
And then he did the ivermectin stunt.
Yeah, but ivermectin works. Like, that's the whole point. But they don't want you to know that it works. They want you to think, oh, it's like horse medicine. Like, I
just think it's hilarious, if anything. The news kind of has a lack of things to talk about, so everyone's just kind of looking to everyone else, trying to find something to bite at to make. You
want to hear something funny? During the time they were talking about Joe Rogan, the Ghislaine Maxwell trials were happening, and nobody heard about them.
finishing up. And then they finished the trials up, and then next thing you know, just no word about the Ghislaine trials at all. It just wasn't in the media.
Yeah,
unless you really dug for it.
Yeah, even if you dug for it, there was barely any like articles of anything substantial. You had to follow people who are actually following it. You couldn't find any journalists speaking about it. You just found like random Twitter accounts, random people on Telegram, stuff like that. Like it's so fucking fishy.
That's I guess that's where kind of government mistrust comes from. And I don't know. I do trust the U.S. government. I don't know. I'm not against it. But yeah, that's one of the things where it's like, I think the media should really be picking up some more serious stories. I feel like when it comes to biased news, left or right, people will be like, oh no, it's the fucking radical Republicans or the liberal left. And it's like, no, just, where's unbiased news? And it's like, you had Vice News for a little bit, but even then Vice ended up getting bought out, and I don't know.
Man, speaking of the U.S. government, my entire political beliefs are based on what the opposite of the U.S. government says. Like, that's what I do.
Not a bad idea.
That's kind of funny.
That's literally, and you get it right like 90% of the time. Because I'm Syrian, and they lied about a lot about Syria, and I'm still butthurt about it because my parents are starving, literally, and that's not even a joke. I'm not trying to be funny.
Oh, really?
It's fucked up. Okay. It's pretty fucked up. Speaking of Syria,
speaking of food, hold up. Speaking of food, you guys cook?
No.
Curious.
I cook sometimes.
Right now, I've had this this huge pot of sauce. I'm making pasta for dinner tonight. It's been simmering for like 8 hours now, and it just smells really good.
That sounds good.
No, yeah.
That sounds really good.
Bro,
Yeah, like, do some old school Italian, like season that stuff up, just put a lot of stuff in there. You got all your meats, you got sausage, you got your chicken, you got maybe a little bit of pork here and there, just, like the extras, like the pig fats. And then just leave that simmering. You put your basil in there, you get your chives, just get everything going in this nice big sauce. It's so good. Just get all your leftovers out.
Man, I only eat, as I said before, I only eat emergency rations, canned food, and noodles. Sometimes
and protein bars.
Protein bars, yes, I forgot about that. But aside from that, I just don't eat anything. I was gonna say a fucking Syrian war story, but apparently you don't like Syrian war stories, so let's move on to a different...
No, yeah.
Okay, fine.
No, dude, come on, I'll tell you a story.
Okay. Back in home country, we had this friend. I'm gonna call him Isa. So Isa, well, that's not his real name, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
He was from Raqqa, and if you know anything about Syria, Raqqa was the capital of ISIS for a while. So he moved into our school in 8th grade. When we asked him why he moved, obviously ISIS was there, he said that one day he was walking back from school to his home in Raqqa when he saw a bunch of kids playing football, and then he got a little closer, and then he realized those kids were not playing football, they were playing a human head ball. And that's when he decided that's when he decided to tell his parents to get the fuck out of there. And they left, they came to Latakia, and we started going to the same school. And in 8th grade, he started telling us all, yeah, bro, my parents, they're actually millionaires, and I come from New York City, bro. I was born in New York. I'm an American citizen. And we're like, bro, shut the fuck up. Nobody believed him. Because he didn't speak English all that well back in the day, right? In 8th grade, he spoke English, like a pretty broken English. So we're like, yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. Sit down, dude. Come on. Then in 9th grade, he gets his national ID, birthplace, New York City. And we're like, fuck!
What?
Yeah. And then he kept telling us, yeah, bro, my parents are actually fucking millionaires. We own like 3 restaurants and 2 grocery shops and so much like property in New York City. And we're all like, dude, just shut the fuck up, dude.
Why the fuck aren't they living in New York City?
Hold on! I'm getting there. And so, it's time for me to leave Syria. I invite all my friends over. And this is like 5 years later.
Okay.
I invite all my friends over. We have a big party. They all leave, and in the middle of the night, he calls me. He's like, "Bro, come down to the streets. I'm underneath your apartment." And I go there, and he's crying. He's like, "Dude, I forgot you were such a good friend to me. I can't leave you, man. Like we were so close together, and now I realize you're going." I'm like, "Dude, shut the fuck up. You have American citizenship. You can come visit me whenever you want. You fucking retard." He was like, "Oh yeah, you make a good point, bro. Yeah, we Gucci, bro." And so that was the story. And then I leave to Canada. I start being a wagey cuck for 2 years because when I apply for papers, it's like, oh no, we actually got COVID now, so your papers are going to be delayed for a year. And then after a year, they're like, oh bro, your papers are going to be delayed now because of Afghanistan. And then after a year, oh bro, your papers are delayed now because of Ukraine. And I'm still waging. I'm a fucking computer technician working in a fucking restaurant, okay? I'm really pissed off. He travels to New York City, gives me a video call. He's like, yo, bro, check out my apartment. I'm like, what? He shows me his apartment? He's got like a nice apartment in Manhattan, in New York? I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And then he's like, he shows me videos of like his shop, his restaurants, and he's like, yeah, bro, they froze my PayPal account because I didn't pay my taxes. I had like $50,000 on my PayPal. I'm like, what? What?
I mean, hey, can you help a brother out right now?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, bro, I remember in Syria when you would come to, like, we would go together and you were broke and I had to buy you, like, noodles and we eat noodles together. What the fuck happened? Where was your money then? It's like, my parents just wanted to raise me right so I wouldn't be spoiled. I'm like, bro, how about me? How about me? So now, that dude is buying, like, companies. Is actually like literally buying companies and corporations, and I'm just sitting here waging my ass off. And
but have you just asked, like for like a little bit? Not even a lot, just like a couple hundo, and I'll help you get by for the week.
See, this is the thing about Syrians. We actually have like really high pride. Like I am.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm very proud of who I am. And so the fact that I'm waging and broke, and I actually, this is a great segue for the next section, and that I'm actually broke. Like, bro, the microphone I just bought, the Razer mic, so I would record a better podcast. I'm not gonna be able to afford food for the next of the month. Okay, I'm gonna be living on subsistence rations. So this is a great segue to our Patreon. We're opening a Patreon, guys. We don't offer any rewards. But we actually have a budget now. I had to pay Mumkey $20, and I had to buy this microphone, and now I'm broke. So, if you want to help, wagey immigrants out, that would be great.
It's all for the refugees, man. Come on, we gotta support them.
Pretty much. Yeah. Another story with this guy Sam. So he's really, really tall, and he's really proud as well, just like I am, and. You know, when you're a teenager in Syria, you get into fights sometimes, and if you try to fight this guy, he will always like push you. He's not gonna
de-escalate.
You're the one who has to
de-escalate.
Otherwise, there's gonna be a fight going. And so one day he calls me. He's like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna have like a fight in this area. Be prepared." We're like 14, 15 at the time. It's like, yeah. And this guy is like really fucking proud, really, really aggressive. Like once you pick a fight with him, you're gonna have to back down. And so I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm down with you. And so I go down with him, and I'm wearing this big coat. He's like, cool, let's go. And we go to the fight. I'm like, hey, by the way, I brought this, and I bring out a wrench. He's like, bro, what the fuck? And then I also brought this, and I bring out a screwdriver. He's like, bro, what the fuck? And then I'm like, I also brought this. He's like, stop. And then we reached the fight situation, and remember, this man has never backed out of a fight his entire life, and from that day on, he will never back down from a fight. And he goes there, and there's a group of 3 people, and we're a group of 4 people, and he walks up to them, and he's like, guys, I think we can reach a peaceful agreement.
What?
Because some fucking autist in his posse brought like screwdrivers and wrenches and is about to kill some people. And he's like, this is kind of like an escalation here. I don't want to happen.
I mean, hey, at least he's being the bigger man, It's always worth it to have like a peaceful de-escalation of anything, honestly.
Yeah, I'm also glad he did that peaceful de-escalation. I don't know what I was thinking. I would probably never use those things. I just had him in my code as intimidation. But apparently,
it just sounds like something that would have ruined it.
I intimidated my fucking friends, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'll tell you some suburban stories right now. This one, it's not anything huge. This is just like a small one, but it just came to my head right now. It's not the same situation, but it's something. I don't know, that's been on my mind. I remember this the other day. So, I don't know about you, but in my high school, we kind of had, like, a lot of special ed kids. Kind of, like, just integrated into the classrooms.
Gee, I wonder why you were there.
No. That's the funny thing. I was actually helping a lot of these kids. So, what happened was...
Sure.
Really? Sure? Come on, cut me a little slack, man. Come on. Not everyone in the Garbagemice is a...
I'm sorry.
What's the right word to not be offensive?
One of us.
No, but anyways. So, I don't know. I'm thinking of some names right now. Let's just say we got the kid, Frankie. He had Down syndrome. Pretty scrawny kid, about 5'5". The other one was this kid with Benjamin Button disorder. Let's just call him Ben. Dude literally talked, looked, and acted like a 5-year-old. He's still in high school, had tantrums and all the likes, And what ended up happening is that they were integrating classrooms. So, for example, like, PE, right?
Yeah.
When you had football and stuff, I was pretty good at it, but what ended up happening was we'd all huddle together, and it's like, okay, guys, the special ed kids are playing with us. Go easy on them. Don't let them all score. And it was so weird. Like, this was like pushover stuff. Everyone, as soon as like a special ed kid got the ball, they just all stop and stand still. Like, bro, what are you doing? It's so obvious you're letting them win. So what I did, I literally improvised right then and there, and I was like running after them, but not really. I was just running just at a pace, so I'd just be right behind them, and these kids would start running up faster and actually putting effort into it. And it's like, I even faked a trip one time for one of the kids, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I actually did that. I beat you. I'm great at football. That's just one of my things. I almost was on a varsity team. I dropped out because I didn't have good enough grades. But it was just this whole thing, and brought these people, smiles. They didn't feel like they were, winning. I feel like they actually felt like, hey, I have a chance. I can do this. And I don't know why, like, people, like, when it comes to, like, helping people or, like, giving these kids, like, a chance to shine, they just stood there. And,
speaking of that, we had at our local PlayStation cafe, there was this man with Down syndrome who would always be sent by his
I'm
family.
stopping you right here. PlayStation Cafe? What?
Okay. Well, fuck. Okay. Back in home country, you know how places here have like LAN cafes and internet cafes? A PlayStation cafe.
Oh, so
it's like that because not everybody could afford a console,
a game system,
and another part is when the war started, we stopped getting electricity 24/7. So the PlayStation cafes would have like generators, and you can go play there. So you would just go there with your friends. You would spend like 50 cents, and you'd be able to play like an hour of like Call of Duty or FIFA or PES with your friends. And so this man would be sent
that sounds
there.
Pretty cool.
It is. There's a lot of stories that happened in that place. But there was this man with Down syndrome. He would always be sent there. The local kids, sadly, would sometimes bully him. Like, they knew they were doing something wrong, but when there was enough of them, they probably felt like pressured by each other to be funny or whatever. But he never really did anything. He just minded his own business. I doubt he even realized he was being bullied, because he just liked to play Call of Duty, Black Ops 2. And at some point, I realized, you know what? I used to work at that place, and I decided, you know what? I'm just going to play a game with this guy. And I played with him, and, he wasn't, like, he didn't play how you'd expect him to play. He was a little better, and I played it, and I let him win, obviously. I killed him, like, every 2 times he killed me, and I tried to keep it, like, seeming fair. It's just something you have to do, right? It's something...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's... And, I had fun. I kind of had fun, to be honest. Like, just watching him go. Just saying.
No, yeah, it's a great thing, I even, like, because this was flag football when the special ed kids would come out, because you can't actually tackle them or anything.
Yep.
I would just sometimes pull the flags, they'd lose, and it's like, I do it sometimes, and some people were kind of confused why I did that. It's because you got to give them, the idea of, it's like, hey, this is a fair competition. You don't want to, I don't know, like, it's not like they're just going to pretend or realize that, oh, this is all staged. I feel like they'd know it was staged if, they were constantly winning.
You got
to make them feel special, and you got to make them happy.
They're stupid, but they're not that stupid.
Exactly.
Like, let's be real. It's not even trying to be funny. It's just like that. So it is how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they'll come to realize eventually, and I think everyone needs a little bit of pressure in that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It keeps things fresh. It keeps things like challenging. It keeps the success feeling fresh. Like that's how I see it.
No, definitely. But
speaking of people with special needs, Rusty Cage, please come on the Garbagemice. I know you're watching.
Yes, Rusty Cage, come on the show.
Okay, no. Okay, okay. Man, I cannot speak. Let's cut this part out.
No.
Speaking of
No, nothing gets cut out.
Nothing?
I'm sorry. We have never cut out a single piece of, like, conversation ever. Disregard all the times.
That piece right there, staying in.
It's staying in.
Nope. Can I please edit? Please, pretty please.
No.
I'll do it tonight. Right now.
No. We have your audio recorded. You're gone. You're dead.
Man, I am so dead.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Your life is ruined from this point forward.
You're gonna get canceled on Twitter.com.
What am I
cannot believe
Good luck
you
getting
said
into
the
college.
N-word with the hard R. You racist piece of shit.
Okay. But no, like, I really want to talk about, I think, our favorite special needs person, Mumpky Jones, or Simeon Jimmy, or literally, I don't know. You guys listen to Sodi, right?
Yeah, he doxed me.
I listened to a couple of episodes of it.
He doxed me on the last episode, and I had to pay him $20 for him to cut it out. So.
Wait. What?
Yeah. He sent me coordinates of my location, and he also found my parents' Facebook accounts, and he threatened to have them killed by ISIS if I didn't pay him. So Monkey Jones is a really horrible person. I would not recommend getting him on your podcast. He will ruin your life. He will make you live in a constant state of fear and misery. It's been a mistake, okay? It's been horrible. He's making me feel very unsafe, and I don't even feel safe sharing this information with you guys.
Dude,
Man.
do you need a helping hand?
No,
Okay.
I kind of get off to this. Not gonna lie.
Oh, okay. No, okay. Anyways, I really think that I don't know. I feel like Monkey's channel direction has been horrible since the Lou the Kitty situation.
Gee, you fucking
And-
think?
No, but it's like I was re-listening to some Sodi a while back, and I remember when Rusty was joking with him about doing like an Antifa Jones channel where he just keeps it all. He covers the same topics, except he beats around the bush, and then makes it 10 times worse, but technically allowed by YouTube's guidelines in the process. And I'm wondering why he never did something like that. Like, I don't know. I just imagine a perfect world, where Monkey, after his channel's deleted, he just didn't. I don't know, just do all the weird, messed up shit he did,
Man,
and actually just got his life on track.
here's the thing about that.
Kino content we could have had.
Here's the thing about that. I'm gonna defend Monkey here a bit. I really don't want to talk about this part because I know it's probably really upsetting for him. But when you're in that state of mind where, oh shit, my livelihood is gone and like all these things are happening, and then he was thinking in a way that he's gonna commit suicide the next day, which I completely understand that fucking sentiment because I've been through that for most of my fucking life, man. It is not a good state of mind. He was really self-destructive. If you remember, he called Susan would just get like a horse-faced bitch while people were trying to get him in contact with her. He burnt a lot of bridges, and the way I see it, he was responsible for his own actions, but his frame of mind was not allowing him to do anything that was beneficial to him, that was good to him. Like, I doubt if you put current Monkey in that situation, he would have done any of what he did. Or past Monkey in that situation. There was a point of time where he was so fucked in the head and so anxious, so tired. Like, it is...
Where you'll just do anything without thinking twice.
Man, look, I've been through a fucking war, and as I said on episode 1, I had some fucking Canadian kid come and tell me, yo, bro, I have PTSD because my fucking girlfriend's parents found us fucking. I'm like, bro.
What? That's not how's that PTSD? Dude,
Exactly.
That's just
Basically, I know people come to me all the time and they share with me stupid shit. Like, oh, bro, I'm so mentally damaged. I'm damaged because... Like, shut the fuck up, bro. I'm not the right person to tell this to. Okay? I've seen some shit. But with Monkey Jones... I feel a connection in how genuinely desperate he was. I genuinely feel like he was going through a lot of shit. Like, he is one of the people I approve the misery of. Like, it's got the Syrian stamp of approval, my friend. So don't blame him. Don't blame him for what he did.
I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna go into my personal life story because that's something for another day. But what I always do, this is like
please do. What's your social security number?
Oh, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9.
Bro, that is an actually valid social security number.
Is it valid? Wait, does someone actually have that?
Unfortunately,
I hope not. You just doxed them.
Bro, they're gonna shut down the Garbagemice. What have you done?
No. I think someone. Do you think? Come on, you gotta think. The U.S. government can't give someone the social 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. They can't.
Have you ever seen anything that the U.S. government has done? Have you seen one of the many nuclear fuck-ups that this U.S. government has done? Trust me, giving somebody 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the least of their concerns.
That would just be a big troll on whoever they gave it to. Imagine you have to tell someone your social. It's like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like, yeah, no, we don't believe you.
Okay, no, you're probably right, because socials, I don't know. I think it might be an old social. I don't think that person has that social anymore.
Yeah, he probably died in the 40s. He probably died.
No, yeah, exactly, because Social Security's been around for like, a couple hundred
years. They might have killed
think.
themselves because of that.
Only 100 years. Only 100.
No, you're right, yeah.
Anyways, it is time for a reaction video. Okay, guys? Yes.
What are we reacting to?
So, check out the Garbage Ban. The Garbage Ban channel.
Okay.
Do you see the censored video that was sent earlier today?
I see it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
We're gonna react to that in 5, 4...
But you sent it. You saw it.
Yeah, but you're gonna react to it.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync.
Look at the price of gas now! It's $7.55 a gallon! Hey, Putin! We're sending you a bill!
Putin owned with facts and logic.
755. I wonder where this is.
It's Putin, guys. It's Putin. It's nobody else. Don't think about it too hard. Don't. It's not Biden.
Dude, the dramatics on this guy, dude.
Joe Biden, wake up. Yeah, these.
I'm sorry, but like,
fucking hate.
what is that? He's not gonna do anything.
Bro, I fucking hate these people so much, like these faux activists.
No, but like, this is just the thing that I don't know. That's what I don't like. Is that
The what? The what? Is the
I think you got DDoSed.
I think Monkey Jones has realized we were talking shit and we have angered him. I think he's sending ISIS to Nazniak. I'm sorry.
okay, yo, back. Testing.
You're back.
Oh.
You're back.
Okay, cool. My mic just got unplugged for a second. If you don't know, like, I have a blanket over this whole thing to record the audio. And while I was talking, like, the USB that's connected to my microphone just went completely out, and I didn't realize it. Where was I left off?
Nazniak, clap twice if you're in a hostage situation. Shit. Okay,
Oh,
let's.
no.
Okay,
No,
guys.
but it's like this. I just think the reaction's just kind of a little bit drawn out, blown out. Actually, it's like, dude, it's. I guess it's a clout thing, but it's kind of like this point that I've gotten to. I feel like I don't know. Everyone's just kind of looking to everyone else right now, and nobody's actually doing anything.
Welcome to the TikTok generation, my friend.
Well, I mean, I'm part of it, so
Oh fuck. Oh no.
imagine being 18.
Man, you're
Yeah,
18. Hey, you
imagine.
actually sound quite old. Like, I thought you were like 20, 22.
Really?
Yeah. How old do I sound?
I don't know, like 22-ish.
Yeah, pretty much 21, 22 in like 3
Yeah.
months.
I am 21 as well.
Yeah, this is the Zoomer podcast, unfortunately. I'm very
Well, I
sad
mean-
about the state of my generation.
Well, I mean, hey, have you ever had a boomer on?
Man,
We should have a boomer on. That would be cool.
Yeah, actually, is Egg? No, I don't think Eggy's a boomer. I think he's like
No, Eggy's
Is he
not a
Gen X,
boomer.
technically?
millennial.
Eggy's
Oh,
like
millennial,
30.
okay.
He's not a boomer.
He's 28, 29. Even
Oh, is
Rusty.
he?
Yeah.
I thought he was in his 30s.
No, he just
I-
looks that way.
I think he's like very. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to guess his age, but he's
Anyways.
like early 30s, late 20s.
Anyways, guys, as Tim Pool on this episode, I am going to rant a little bit about Russia and the Ukrainians, if you don't know.
Tell me about the Jews,
Okay,
Tim.
yeah.
Tell me.
I mean,
That's,
I'd like to oppose you guys because I don't. I stand with Ukraine, and you guys kind of don't. So
Well, you're a loser.
okay.
Okay, guys, what you have to understand is that the Russians in Ukraine, okay? So you've heard of
Okay.
World War One, right? When the Germans first began using chemical weapons, the whole world stood against them. But Germany didn't care. They had figured out a way to weaponize the air. Then one day or a week after the first chemical attack, they attacked the Auschwitz fortress at the border of Poland and gassed it with chlorine gas, killing 1,000 Russian troops. And to move in, but guess what the Russians did? They attacked them back, okay? The Russians are such a superior master race that we're all fucked. We're all fucked. They're gonna nuke the earth, and then they're gonna just come out of the nukes and fuck us all in the ass. And I don't know where I'm going with that. I am
Yeah.
Tim Pool. With this, I decree as fact. Fuck. I actually had a long drawn out monologue. I was gonna say,
Well, thank you for the black
just kinda
pills, Tim.
back out your tongue.
yeah, pretty much the Chris Pool got on my tongue. So
Okay.
yeah. By the way, Chris Pool, come on the show.
And by the way,
Yeah.
just going back to the whole TikTok generation thing,
Yeah.
I feel like this whole generation is gonna be iffy, and I think I'm making like a huge stand right now when I say this. When I have my own kids eventually, sometime in the long future, I don't think I want my kids to have an internet connection.
Neither will
I
I.
agree.
No,
Yeah.
because like growing.
If
I
I
think
were a
growing up-
father,
I'm
I would
sorry.
not have a TV in my house. My kids would not have phones.
I mean, it's a television, man. Come on.
No TV either.
Dude, have you
if I-
seen the Pixar movie that came out recently? It's disgusting.
I'm gonna go into it
Turning Red.
unbiasedly soon. Yeah, no, I'm gonna watch it with a few friends sometime soon.
Bro, watch Taxi Driver. Just watch the old movies.
Oh no, yeah, I love
I-
Taxi Driver.
Oh,
hey,
I
if
saw a
it's
guy
trolling,
do.
yeah.
I was gonna say I saw a guy do a stream talking about Turning Red. I didn't actually see it, but according to the clips that I was shown on this stream I watched, it is literally like subconsciously marketing prostitution as a viable career path for little girls. It's so disgusting.
That's what I heard. I also saw the panda twerk clip, but I'm not gonna judge the movie until I see it. I'm just one of those types of people. I'm not gonna just jump on a bandwagon. I have to see it to believe it.
Man, here's the thing about it. I used to be that way.
Well, I did see clips of it, but
I used to be like that until it started being that every time they would be like, oh, there's this horrible clip in this show, and then they'd be like, no, you're not judging it right, and then I watch it for myself. It would turn out to be just as disgusting, and then it would happen again and again and again. It happened with cuties. It happened with like the fucking Powerpuff Girls twerking or whatever. It happened with like, so many things that I don't care about that are targeted to children, that they're like, holy shit, they're showing this to our children. It happens in library books they're like promoting in the US, where it's like, oh, this book is for sex education, and then you open it and it's like two kids sucking each other's dicks, stuff like that. It's happening right now.
No, but like I think a good example is actually The Last of Us 2, of why you gotta see it before you judge it. You guys are familiar with it, right?
It kind of sucked.
Vaguely, yeah.
It kind of sucked, to be honest.
Okay. I think gameplay-wise, it's a great evolution of what The Last of Us had, with the new inclusions. But like, just going into the story in Abby's character, you remember how everyone was like, before the game came out, was like, oh, Abby's trans and all this other stuff, and a lot of stuff like that.
But that wasn't the complaint.
But it was the complaint was like she was super muscular and burly.
That was not the complaint. That was a complaint. The complaint was that the character model was just ugly to look at, which a lot of characters nowadays are getting uglier and uglier. Nobody in The Last of Us 2 looked good. Nobody.
Yeah. I mean, okay, Ellie kind of looked okay.
Not even.
Well, I mean, not in the gruesome bits, but like in the introduction, in the scene where you're just walking around, and you're in the village, it's all snowy and stuff. And you're in the snowball fight,
Compare that to The Last of Us 1. And how good the characters looked then. Compare that to old games. Compare that to like old movies where everybody kind of looked presentable, looks pleasant to look at.
Okay. Compare that to Uncharted 1 on the PS3, not the Mister.
Yeah, it kind of looked good. It kind of looked beautiful.
You mean Uncharted 1 looked okay?
Yeah.
I mean, like the PS3 one, where like they're all weirdly glossy and the skin wasn't skin.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm talking about the character design. The character design was like nice to look at instead of like being directly ugly. Yeah. Like they made the characters look ugly. They make the characters look unappealing, and is it more human? I don't know. I'm an attractive Middle Eastern man. I wouldn't fucking care. But it's annoying to look at. Look at good movies, right? Look at Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro looks great in it. All the characters, like the main ones, they look good. Look at American Psycho. What was his fucking name?
Casino 1995.
Like all the movies that are actually good, all the games that are actually good, they are good from the foundation, and the foundation is always like character design, basic story beats, stuff like that. And then you look at the modern Last of Us 2, the story's all over the fucking place. It reaches you to a peak, and then it drops you, and it's like, let's start all over again. And then right at the end, where it's the only murder that fucking matters, the end of the path where we've murdered like 800 people to get to this point, they're like, but murder is bad. Well, guess what? If you gave me a fucking choice, maybe I'd care about this fucking choice. But no, there was no choice. Fucking pieces of shit.
That's like, if you let me interrupt for a second, that's the one thing I will agree with you on, is that I think they should have given you a choice. I really don't think there's potential in a Last of Us 3. I know it's an open-ended ending for The Last of Us 2, but there's nothing that's really, a good enough hook per se.
You want to hear something funny? Funny?
Yeah, what?
I was playing Metal Gear Solid 3, and I think in the total of my playthrough, I used a lot of like CQC and stealth and like the dart gun. And I ended up having to kill like 5 people with a shotgun while I was climbing the mountain in Groznygrad. And after I had to fight the Sorrow, 5 ghosts showed up, and I instantly recognized each one of them as the people I had killed. I instantly recognized, like, holy shit, this is horrible. These are the bosses, like, and the bosses as well. The bosses that I killed versus the bosses I used the trank gun on, like, you could see the fucking difference. And I'm like, holy shit, these people appear, and I had a choice in whether these people die, and now that they're dead, the game is beating me up for it. And I'm like, wow, I felt so horrible for having to kill those people, even though they're like video game characters, even though I know like actual fucking deaths. And when the Sorrow ended, I'm like, wow, holy shit. The game made me feel bad, and I don't think I used like a proper rifle anywhere in the rest of the game. Compare that to The Last of Us 2, where you just kill, and they make you kill a dog in a cutscene, and then they're like, oh, but Abby liked that dog. His name was Fluffy. His name was Mr. Scribbles. Like, shut the fuck up.
That's the thing I will defend. I think it's an interesting idea to do the side switch. Like, what is Abby's perspective? But you guys are familiar with the Sonic franchise, right?
I want to tell you something about the side switch. The side switch is good when either you've reached the apex and you've gone over the apex and you're at a time of cooling where it's not leaving you on a cliffhanger to go on a fucking 10-hour quest, or it's not like a small flight. Like, it's a full 10-hour parallel. It would have been nicer if as Ellie is progressing, they're progressing Abby's story as well. So Ellie reaches a point where she fights Abby and then she loses, like Abby gets away, and then the scene goes back like 10 days earlier and you play as Abby and you have to survive Ellie's attack. That would have been cool. I think so. I think that would have been a way. I still wouldn't think the story would be good. I still think the story would be shit, but the pacing would be nice. Anyways, most people here, I don't think they've played The Last of Us 2, so let's wrap this up.
Oh, no, yeah, let's wrap that part up. I just want to say that if you guys are familiar with, like, Sonic Adventure 2, it just gives you, like, that hero or dark story in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
I think they could have done that here. Like, do you want to see Ellie's path, or do you want to see this new character? Like, a new perspective. And you could start maybe with even Abby's story, completely unrelated from, Ellie. And then you see how the story, interweaves and interconnects with each other, and it would have been a really cool experience, I think, especially if you could have started with Abby's portion if you wanted to.
Yeah, but you know what? My biggest complaint about The Last of Us 2?
What is it?
I fucking hate lesbians. That's it. Okay.
All right, that's just a taste thing, but okay.
Yeah. Anyway, let's figure out something to talk. Red Sante, you haven't spoken in 5 minutes. Ukraine, okay. Zelensky, go fuck yourself. You're fucking over your man. You should have surrendered a while ago. You're not even in Ukraine anymore. Fuck you. That's all.
Oh, is he not in Ukraine?
No, he's been green screening himself for like a couple of days now.
Oh, okay, because I haven't been keeping up with the Ukraine stuff for a few days now.
He's faking being in Ukraine, and basically, if you're a man in Ukraine, you're trapped. You're not allowed to escape. There's been a lot of... Here's the thing. I respect that if you're an underdog in a war, you're going to have to resort to desperate tactics. But the Ukrainian military is still a trained, well-armed militia. Like, it's still an army. It's still an official state army. And so the stuff they're doing is not like it's just some small militia where I can be like, you know what, they don't really have any other option. No, they have another option. They're just not taking it. So I'm disliking a lot of the things that are done by the Ukrainian government. I'm not necessarily like pro-Russian invasion. I'm not saying like, yeah, Russia should invade more countries. No, I'm just saying that Ukraine has been handling this situation like very terribly as well for the safety of its own citizens and the safety of like the region. That's what I think.
I mean, I really just I'm just kind of rooting for the Ukrainian people for the most part, because...
Well, the Ukrainian people are the biggest losers here. They're not going to win. If Ukraine wins, they haven't won, and if Russia wins, they haven't won. The only way they win is if the war stops right now. That's the only win for the people. And I'm going to repeat that. The only win for the Syrian people is if the war stops right now. However it stops, the poverty must end, and the war must end, the destruction must end. The
war's not going to stop. Especially because, like, with the Kremlin right now and, Vladimir Putin, I don't think he's going to just let up.
Yeah, so just as long as it stops, doesn't matter if it's Putin stopping it or Zelensky stopping it. What matters for the people is that the war stops. That's my stance.
Yeah.
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 I just want the war to stop because I even have I guess not really, but I got like a couple relatives in like the Ukraine, Croatia area. And it's mainly just stuff like that where it's really causing a lot of hurt to a lot of people and even civilians. And the fact that people have to keep leaving, and you are kind of right, they are kind of limiting how much men leave the country. It's just disheartening that this is happening. Man, and I don't know. I know there was going to be a war no matter what. It was brewing, but I was expecting some kind of everyone against China war from the beginning of the year.
How I compare
and it's so weird how our expectations were all subverted by Russia, pulling what it did.
how I compare it is I compare how Zelensky's acting versus how Bashar al-Assad acted in the beginning of the Syrian civil war.
Okay.
Zelensky's not acting like any more reasonably than Bashar was acting. Bashar, you were still able to leave the country. You're still like the people that were still living under his areas, even in the most desperate times, were not like given a gun and forced to fight. We didn't have APCs in the middle of our streets with people telling them to leave because we have civilians. They weren't using hospitals. They weren't using like kindergartens as like bases to hold infantry. They just had their checkpoints, and if their checkpoints fell, they fell to the other military checkpoints. They did not go to those lengths, even though it was kind of a desperate time. And Bashar al-Assad stayed in Syria, and there was all these things with him, like how he allowed men to still leave the country if they weren't conscripted, how he didn't force every man to fight. And I compare that to Zelensky, where he's like, yeah, I'm going to force every man to fight. I'm not going to allow anyone to leave the country. I'm going to do this, that. I'm going to have, like, the Azov battalion. Why is nobody fucking talking about it? Why is nobody talking about the actual Nazis that are killing, like, they were killing Russian civilians at one point between 2014 to 2020. How many civilians they killed? I don't know. Maybe 10, maybe 10,000. But I don't think you should have an ultranationalist, battalion, like a actual Nazi battalion with the swastikas and whatnot. I'm fine with people being nationalist socialists. I'm fine with people having their own political beliefs, but having an organization, a militarized organization that's, based on ethnic cleansing, that's kind of horrifying for me. That's just my opinion. Even though I think they just overdosed a little on based. You can overdose on based sometimes. That's all.
No, throwback to when based was a basketball term.
Those days are long gone, my friend. Based now means
They are.
Based now means
Based is now for internet racists.
Exactly. And
I'm joking.
I am very based. I am very, very based.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm speaking to a racist.
The only thing that I can really say
I
is
gotta get off this podcast right now.
Bro, I might get canceled on Twitter.com. Oh no. Oh. But no,
Oh my God, dude.
I'm brown.
Listen to pants.
I'm brown. I literally cannot be racist. It's
I
racist.
can.
It's racist to say that I'm racist, and
Yeah,
so
I
when
can
I say I'm
become brown.
racist,
I mean, like, okay, if we really got to get into this conversation, I'll just end my point off really quickly. Just don't hurt people. That's it.
that same.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like really,
believe all you want.
Even then, you guys are familiar with his name is escaping my head right now. God damn it!
Alec Baldwin.
No, not Baldwin. Oh yeah, the Netflix special. I watched him. I forgot his name. Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
yeah.
I heard his specials were extremely controversial. Even some of my friends who were who happen to be transgender were shit talking Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And I decided to sit down and listen to them.
Turns
I
out he
listened
said
to
nothing.
all of his Netflix specials.
Yeah.
No, and it's when he was saying he would pull punch, he would hit hard. Sometimes he wasn't that hard, but he'd hit, it would sting, definitely. But after the joke was done, he would pull back for a second. He'd get to you nice and personally. He'd use, some ethos, you might have learned that in an English class. And he would get to you and he'd be like, hey, I'm just playing around. Or he'd just say some stuff, to get to your attention, where he's making fun of, the things he's experienced, the things he's been involved in. And he's not attacking people. He's just making common ground. Because at the end of the day, to reference Duckman, an old cartoon, comedy's something that, it's you laugh at it because it's horrible. You laugh at it because, it's the stuff, you face in everyday life. And if you never have to go through any struggles, there's nothing that's going to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there has to be comedic relief, and it has to be based in something that is real.
It has to be based.
Edgy
It
humor
needs
is
to be
not
based.
even the best either, because I feel like some people, if you're going to be edgy for the purpose of only being edgy, and you're just making super messed up jokes and are just over the top all the time, it's not going to work. You got to find that in between.
No, here's
that doesn't really
here's the
work
thing.
out.
There's a difference between the N-word being the joke and the N-word being a punchline to a joke. There's a bit difference, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Hold on.
guess
I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this meme with you. Let me get it out here, just so you understand what I mean.
Yeah. I think
check out
slurs and
Garbage
curse words do have a place in speech because they can help you express yourself in a way that you couldn't otherwise.
So you're saying the N-word is very expressive.
Is that...
To a degree, yeah.
Did Xbox of Canada actually post that?
Yes.
They posted one with a... It was supposed to be a W.
No, it's an
thing
N.
that gamers will
always,
understand.
It's always been an N, so... That's a punchline to the joke. That's a fucking punchline. Versus if it was just a white screen with a black N-word on top of it with a hard R. There's a difference. There's a difference between joking about racial stereotypes like, oh, you fucking Syrian, like, oh, you blow yourself up, versus coming up to me and being like, you're a fucking piece of shit subhuman monkey sand nigger. And I'm like, okay, bro, whatever. There's a difference between that. And it's not funny when you're doing the second thing, but it's really funny to make actual racist humor. Like, to make humor that's based in race. I think that's fucking hilarious. Speaking of which, do you guys want to hear about the day I discovered I was brown?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for most of my life, I watched movies of Hollywood. I watched, like, all these American things and Russian movies and whatnot, and I think, wow, I am just like them. I have green eyes, and I am not brown at all, like everyone around me. Boy, was I wrong. Because one day, I was watching a YouTuber, and he mentioned something about his nipples. And I think to myself, oh, he's mentioning something like he has asymmetrical nipple hair. I think it was Soviet Womble. And he made a bit of like how he had asymmetrical nipple hair. I'm like, I wonder if I have asymmetrical nipple hair. So I go to the bathroom, I take off my shirt, and look at my nipples. And I was horrified. Because you see, I had symmetrical nipple hair. But my nipples were brown.
What?
Whoa, my
nipples were brown. And I'm a brown person. I'm not white. Oh, the humanity.
You know, am I the only one who thinks that we're just kind of making people racist nowadays?
We want to hear something funny? You want to hear something funny?
What?
I am very outwardly racist, and yet I am very surprised every time one of my woke friends opens their mouth and says something that takes me by shock. I'm like, holy shit, that is very fucking racist. Even for me. Okay? Like, I'm fine with people being racist. I'm just... There's a degree of wokeness where you revert back to wanting segregation.
Yeah, you go full circle.
You go full circle. And I've been seeing so much of that in reaction, I feel more politically correct just saying the N-word to black people.
I mean, I wouldn't do that personally, but, you know, what I really want to talk about is the fact that when I was going through the elementary school, this is like, you know, like this would be like 2009 and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We were, I never even had the idea of race in my head really till middle school. And I guess it was just the way I was raised and, you know, the people I lived around and how my school educated me. And we learned about things like slavery and all these other things. But literally, like, my best friend through elementary school, let's just call him Daryl. Daryl and I literally were always, you know, kicking it. He was black, I am Caucasian. And it's like, we were even using an example in the class, and I guess kind of looking back on it, it may have been a little racist for the teacher to say, me and Daryl couldn't be friends, you know, if slavery was still a thing.
That's not racist.
But it's like...
Yeah, it's like, that's not true.
But it's like, I feel like now, like, especially going into middle school, identity politics have kind of muddied the water. Instead of raising kids to be impartial and to not care, you're kind of shoving it in their faces. And I feel like that's why some people do laugh at racist humor.
You want to know what this reminds me of?
What does it remind you of?
Back in home country, 2009 to 2010. For most of Syria, we were a completely secular government. But then 2009, 2010, people were going around like, hey, did you know that Alawites are infidels? Like, they don't believe in Allah? And they're like, no way. And there was a lot of sectarian tension growing between Alawites, Sunnis, and, you know, like, Christians. And see, what happens is when a country is about to be destroyed, they raise the racial tension, and it becomes like, oh, if a Sunni says this to you, then they're evil, and they hate you, and they want you dead. And they say the same things to Sunnis, where like, these people hate what you believe in, and they hate you, and they want you dead. And so, and they're oppressing you. See, and Alawites are a minority, are a really, really religious minority, but it just so happens that the president is an Alawite, so they're like, oh, the president is an Alawite, and the power structure is racist against Sunnis, but Alawites mostly are poor people, so we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and even bringing it bringing it back to World War II, that's what happened with the Jews with the Nazis. That's what happened to Japanese people in America, even then in World War II after Pearl Harbor.
You know what the difference is?
What's the difference?
In Libya, that worked. In Egypt, that worked. Everywhere else in the Middle East, where they didn't have an exactly secular government, it did work. In Syria, it didn't work because the national identity of being Syrian is stronger than the identity of being an Alawite, a Shia, a Sunni.
Based.
Yeah, that's great to hear that everyone's like all about, Syrian pride. I'm happy to hear that, actually.
Yeah, and I
don't know much about the Middle East, by the way, so just heads up. But yeah, thanks for the little bit of education.
So whenever you're talking about like race and stuff like that, just remember it is very important that you're proud of who you are and of your entire country, of your own people. Like you should be proud of yourself and your smaller group, smaller tribe, but you should not consider everybody else as like, oh, these are lesser, these are more. They're equal and they're just as rooted in history as you are. That's how I like to think about it.
Totally. And it's like, I don't know. You know people who get DNA tests and stuff?
Yeah, I fucking hate that.
I don't know, man. I don't know about you. I'm 1% Neanderthal. Oh, God, I messed that up. But yeah, come on. Let's get some pride going up. Any of you guys else? Any of them?
If I took a DNA test and it turns out I'm 1% Jewish, I'm going to kill myself.
This might ruin the whole podcast, but...
No!
Oh, no.
I'm sorry to break it to you.
We have a banker in our midst.
Don't say it! Don't say it! I trusted you! No!
I'm sorry.
His mic's cutting out.
Oh, man. After all what I've been through, I have finally spoken to a Jew and I broke my one rule. Goodbye, cruel world. And I just fucking hang myself. I'm about to hang myself tonight after I upload this episode. Yeah.
Okay.
I broke my no speaking to Jews rule, my only rule in life, and I feel horrible about it. Truly.
Oh, man.
Horrendous.
Well, hey, quick question actually for everyone here, because I got to do something later today.
Sure.
How's everyone's dating life in here?
Man, I don't want to talk about this, man.
I don't know, I'm going on a date. It's going to be nice.
Dating life?
Yeah.
No, I have a girlfriend. That's all.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years for me. I'll just say that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Dude, it's so black-pilling being in Southern California. The women here.
Dude, it's so black-pilling being a Monkey Jones, Rusty Cage, Emperor Lemon Weekend Reactor fan.
Bro, that really doesn't help, because I just, like, every time I meet, like, a girl at a party, I'm like, hey, you want to see this? And I start doing the knife game, and then I usually fail.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's just, like, blood everywhere, and it scares the hose away. It doesn't work.
That's something. You're scaring the horse away. No,
yeah.
To be honest, I was going to talk with Ege about this, but I didn't really want to make a point out of it. That women here, in general, this is what I've noticed. My girlfriend is Syrian, and we've been doing long distance, except for a short period of time where we stopped doing it, but now we're back on it because... I'll talk about that. Because the women here are so fucking horrible. So fucking horrendous. Even young women.
Yeah. No, it's just Gen Z, really. It's like a diamond in the rough type of thing, but, once you find someone you're actually happy with, it's great.
Man, back home, it was like every relationship is a serious relationship. Everybody, you wanted to make sure that this is somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with, and that's what you were building up to.
Yeah. And that's the thing. A lot of people in my generation, our generation, because this is something I've even spoken about with some older people and people our same age. There's like a huge lack of commitment in this generation.
Yeah.
And it's disheartening that people will just see everything as disposable.
Yeah, and I fucking hate that. And
I think media has to do with it too, and like the whole will they, won't they thing, where and just tropes and stuff like that.
I think it's the whole like. Between me
and people are afraid of being judged. That's the problem.
Yeah. No. You want to hear my opinion?
They are afraid of people making fun of them, so they don't commit to anything in their lives.
My opinion is, it's just sexual immorality. Like when you're having like when you can go out and every week you can fuck a random girl or fuck a random guy, and then this one girl or one guy comes with that you're getting along with well, and they're really responsible, they're really good, and it's like you really get close to each other. However, you realize that maybe her tits are not big enough, or maybe this, maybe that, or you get into an argument and you're like, I don't really love this person anymore. I can get like 10 more people in 2 more hours, and then it's incentivizing you to break up and not to find a healthy commitment. Versus when you have like, maybe you're 30 and you've had like 2 sexual partners in your entire life and 5 partners, and you see someone, and that someone doesn't become their body, doesn't become what they can bring to the table, but becomes themselves as a person to you. Doesn't become a sum of their parts, becomes the actual person. Like, it doesn't become like a statistics fucking game of, he has like -5 attack, but +2 money. It doesn't become like that. That's how I see it. I could be wrong, but the people I see at work, the people I see like in life in Canada, it's so fucking blackpilling, man. Like, it's so, I feel bad for these people. I genuinely do, because they never seem happy. I find it hard to believe that every time I meet somebody and I get to know them like close and personally, I am very rarely the more disturbed one. I'm very rarely the more unstable one. I'm most of the time I'm the person who's got his shit together and needs to tell the other person to get his shit together. And that is just so weird for me, because, you know, I'm supposed to have like 80 mental illnesses because I'm a fucking Syrian war child. But turns out that the Canadian guy who's been living his entire life in like Vancouver and his parents are millionaires, he's the actual victim here. He's the one I can never understand.
What? I don't know, like, I really just want to bring this down to the fact that I think the internet's ruined a lot of things, especially with the indoctrination, and sexual degeneracy is rampant nowadays. It's, you know, no fucking surprise, I guess you could say, with kids getting access to the internet.
I do not know a single woman who doesn't also sleep with women. Like, it's so fucking disturbing.
I don't think that's an issue, really. You know, everyone's allowed to do what they want at the end of the day.
Here's the thing. It comes with hidden problems. The problem isn't the act itself.
I understand if it's a religious thing, though.
No, it's not a religious thing. Absolutely not. I think religion has set the standard because based on years and years of human like experience. But the problem is, you look at like okay, this is gonna sound rough, but this is my actual beliefs. You look at statistics of like lesbian relationships. Let's bring them up, and you realize,
they beat each other.
50% of them beat each other. 50% of them rape each other, and 90% of them like mentally abuse each other. Yeah, these are statistics. You can look
I had no idea.
There's like a 10 plus
this
10.
Is true.
One of my
to a degree, it is true.
Friends. We don't talk much anymore, but we're still great friends. We're actually probably gonna hang out sometime soon.
Yeah.
But she's in a great relationship now. Oh my god, I was surprised. And they got with a man, but they said they were polyamorous for like a few years and were like constantly getting in these weird, huge, like giant lesbian relationships. And in one way or another, they'd always fail and work out. And she, you know, sometimes we'd call and be like, I'm not feeling it. I don't think I can, you know, be with this person or because of this, but I want to tell them I don't love them, but I can't, but I'm going to wait a week. No, it's been a month and I'm still with them, but I don't want to be with them. And it's like, oh my God.
It's a huge problem of mental illness. It's a huge problem. It's a symptom. It's a symptom. And that's how I like to describe it to people. It's a symptom of severe underlying issues. And they listen to me saying this, and they're like, wow, that's a horrible thing to say. How can you say it?
Yeah.
And I don't say it because I hate lesbians, actually, or because I hate gay people, or because I hate trans people. I say it because I think this culture, this environment, is very unhealthy and it's negatively affecting people. But when you bring that up, you become an evil person. And you know what?
Okay. No, continue.
I prefer to be seen as evil, but stand up to what I think is right and stand up to what I think is better for everybody. And I'm not going out there and like lynching people. Let's be. I'm just saying, like, somebody brings up an issue to me. I'm like, you know, there's a lot of things that happen about it. There's a lot of. We can talk about more about. I think do we have time to talk about transgender people? I don't think we do.
We can keep going. We're over an hour, but we can keep going.
What do you think?
Patreon exclusive content. Let's go.
Yo, that's a great idea, Nazniak. Subscribe to the Patreon if you want to hear Artillery's speech. Or no, real Tim Pool's speech
Yeah,
on
real Tim Pool.
on transgender issues and transgender mental illness. Otherwise,
And
guys,
don't forget, I'm not Chris Poole.
okay. Let's answer some Patreon questions from the Garbage
And
Mice
I am
Discord.
not Chris Poole and Tim Pool's mother.
Okay. Rossi says, who has the biggest dick out of the hosts? I have like a 6-inch dick. No, nothing?
What's with the Red Santa? You hiding something?
You know what? I don't think we should push Red Santi on this. He can be whatever size he feels comfortable being. Nazniak, how about you? Why are you deflecting to Red Sante?
All I'll say is, I think Artillery and I are pretty similar.
Okay. Will there ever be a cock-off on the Garbage Mice podcast? No. Does everyone on the Garbage Mice have their foreskin intact? Well, that's a funny story. Well, first of all, Nazniak, you're Jewish, so I'm assuming not.
No, I actually have mine.
What? So you're not a fucking... What?
Wait, no. Here's the thing. Everyone, all my brothers got the snip, but basically, when my mother, she went to the hospital and stuff to get me done. This was like, because, she waited till after I was born. Apparently, the nurse in the other room, she heard all these kids crying, and she'd never heard that before, like with my other brothers and stuff.
Yeah.
And she didn't feel like it was safe, and because she didn't want to hurt me, she literally just didn't do it. And then I was given the option when I was a kid, and I didn't really understand it, so I just kind of kept it, and yeah.
That's why you're so based.
Because I'm like,
Yeah. If you want to hear my story, Muslims... See, Islam is kind of like a mix between Judaism and Christianity, with more Judaism. But the snip does exist in Islam. And so my parents took me to get the snip, but the doctor fucked up. And now I have half a foreskin.
Oh.
Like, just half. Like, half of it's cut off, but the other half is still there. And it's
horizontal.
uneven. It's uneven, so there's more skin. There's more skin on one side than the other side.
Left or right side.
Hey, at least it's not like a cone. I feel bad for people who have like the cone. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I don't have the cone.
It just means your dick is small if you have a cone. Like
is that what it means?
Yeah, I'm very sorry.
I got the snip, but actually, like, I went back to the dumpster. Like, me and a couple buddies, we went to the hospital where I was born. We actually found it in the dumpster. So
Did you find other
kind of?
Did you find other rabbis?
Yeah.
Did you find other rabbis? Dumpster diving.
Yeah, they. No, I actually don't really know if it's mine, but I like the color matches, kind of. So I'm just gonna say it's mine. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I would pay good money for Gecumes.
Yeah, for Gecumes.
Yeah, dude, you don't know about Gecume? You don't know about Gecume circumcision?
Gecume Onfroy.
Oh no, I don't want to look that up. I'm feeling endangered here. Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
Onfroy XXX Tentacion.
Oh yeah.
He had a baby, okay? His baby's name was Gecume, and then a meme started floating around. It was so funny. It was an invitation to Gecume Onfroy circumcision. And people were making memes left and right, like, me attending Gecume circumcision and eating his foreskin and other stuff like that.
God.
Yeah, it was a bit of a Zoomer meme, but it was good. Yeah. I liked it.
I'm so glad I'm older than this. Just saying. Anyways. Joe Biden, Alex, top 5 ethnicities. You can't say black people.
Let's go through the other Patreon questions.
Okay, let's look at the Rival Podcast's Patreon questions.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Actually, there's a question for me from Daft iCup. Why is my skin green? Well, I think I might have talked about this before. I am actually the firstborn son of Emp Lemon. So it kind of runs in the family.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think Trash Rats has any good questions.
I
think our Discord is better.
Yeah.
You should everyone should join our Discord because it's actually better than the.
Who do you harass to get the 8 month later 4th of July boxing footage? The answer is actually M. Lemon. That is an actual answer. Serious answer. Why do Chris and Tim have this last name Pool? Are you guys part of the Cool Kids Club? I asked that. And yeah, that's all. So Nazniak, you know the drill, right?
No, I don't. What is the drill? Please explain to me. I am so stupid.
We have to pray for the trash rats, each one of us.
I know.
I haven't prayed to Reactor yet, so I'm gonna pray to him. Nazniak, you get the choice.
You know, I was gonna do Reactor, but you know what? I'm gonna give this prayer to my homeboy Monkey. I've never spoken to him, but you know, he made me laugh a lot, you know, when I was a teenager. And I like Rusty a lot, but I don't know, I gotta choose Monkey.
Hey, if Mumkey's okay with being on the podcast with one of God's chosen people, then we will definitely get you and him on the same time.
You think?
No.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what? Yeah, sure. I'd be down sometime.
Oh yeah. Red
So
Sante.
Red Sante, you gonna pray for Rusty or you gonna go
Yeah,
with him, Clement?
I'll
A real
Go with
pick
one.
Eggy. Go with
Rusty.
Eggy. Go with Eggy. Rusty, I know you're listening to this point. I know you're secretly in love with the Garbagemice. I know you want to come on.
I'm on the show, Rusty.
I actually know
on the
this.
show.
I actually know you're still watching. I know you're fucking obsessed with us, man. I love it. I love it. Just come on the show and we'll stop harassing you on Twitter.
Okay, Rusty, if you're listening, this is just an actual question from a fan. But I want to know if you'd be down to help, I guess, work on a video game, especially if I have a character design and even a whole stage and routine planned for this certain character, and I feel like you would be a great fit for it. And it's something I genuinely want to talk about if you're down to sometime.
See, that's the thing about God's chosen people. You can't go 5 seconds without a business idea. Anyway, time for prayers, okay? 3, 2,
All right.
1. Oh, Reactor, oh, great one, Reactor,
Rusty.
please react to us on the Garbagemice
Knife
podcast.
game,
Please
man.
come to us, Reactor. Come to us and tell us why Leonardo da
I
Vinci
have a knife in
is
my
a
hand
fucking
right now.
fraud. Please, Reactor, I love you.
Oh, fail the knife game
Please, I'm your
if you don't
brother,
come on
Tim
the show.
Poole, actual real
Yeah.
Tim Poole here, and come on the show. Okay,
All right.
and if
Good
you want
night.
to hear the after show of us talking about transgender people for another 30 minutes, subscribe to our Patreon.
Yep.
Good
Goodbye.
night.